Most respected dear family members, my pranams to you. You all might have heard about the message given by Lord Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra to Arjuna. When Arjuna was entering the battlefield, till then he was very active, energetic, and very much concentrating on the duty or dharma that he had to perform. He was expected to perform. But when he came in between the Kauravas and Pandavas on the chariot taken by Lord Krishna, he got confused. Arjuna got confused. Arjuna also got worried, and he was seriously perturbed, and as a warrior in the battlefield, he should not have become so confused. The purpose of a battle, as far as the modern period is concerned, is to conquer the enemy. But as far as the Mahabharata battle was concerned, the enemies were Arjuna's relatives, and they were blood relatives too. So it was not conquering the enemies, it was establishing the dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. So the ultimate aim of Mahabharata war was to re-establish the dharma which was almost spoiled by Kauravas during the rule of Dhritarashtra. But Arjuna, who was expected to rule the country through a dharmic way as one among the Pandavas, he got completely confused. But remember that Lord Krishna was the charioteer for Arjuna. Arjuna was taken to the battlefield knowing pretty well that Arjuna is on the verge of collapse. Lord Krishna told Arjuna to watch the people standing on either side of the battlefield, as Arjuna's party and opposition party, the ruling party and opposition party. So Arjuna got collapsed, as I told you earlier. At that time, Lord Krishna asked a question to Arjuna after listening all the wordings of Arjuna about his confusion, about his mental disturbances, and Arjuna proclaimed that Sidandi mama gatrani mugham cha parishusyadi vebaduscha sharire me romaharshasya jayate gandhivam sramsade hastad tvakchaiva paridashyade na cha shaknomyavastadum brahmadiva cha me manaha. Here Lord Krishna, I am getting confused, mentally disturbed. My body is becoming so weak. My skin, I am getting the feeling of burning. I am sweating, and my Gandhivam, the bow and arrow, they are falling from my hand. I cannot do anything. These are the wordings of a mentally perturbed person, whomsoever he or she or they may be. And he also said, Na kamkshe vijayam Krishna na rajyam sukhani cha kim no rajyena govinda kim bhogair jividena va. I do not want the country, I do not want the throne, I do not want to rule the country, I do not want any benefits and any merits available after killing my own people in the battlefield. So he was so much dejected at that time. Lord Krishna, after listening all the wordings of Arjuna, asked one question so seriously and with sharp wordings. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastidam anarya justam asvargyam akirtigaram Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, you are one among the Pandavas. You are the embodiment of courage and boldness. And you are intellectually and based on your knowledge, you are Superman. And you are one of the very scholarly man. And remember that you are one among Pandavas who never at any part of their life became weak. So kutastva kashmalamidam, these wretched thoughts, from where it got entered into your mind. Vishamame samupastidam, when the crisis is facing you, when you are on the verge of fighting a battle, from where you got these type of feelings that I do not want that, I do not want this, I will not fight, I do not want to kill the people. Till few hours back, you were preparing for the battlefield, and we all assembled here for a battle between Dharma and Adharma. Those who are on the side of Dharma and those who are on the side of Adharma, and your duty is to see that one Dharma is consecrated, coronated. At that time, this Kashmalamidam Vishami Samupastidam Anaryajustam Asvargyam Akirtigaram, it will not fetch you the name and fame. And it is not meant for a bold man, an Aryajust, Aswar, it will not fetch you heaven or glory. Remember that you are running away from the battlefield. You came here in the battlefield and now you are standing in between the two armies. So, just like a bullet shot, Lord Krishna fired Arjuna with the sharpest words, which perhaps Lord Krishna was using for the first time. He has never used the word Kashmalam. Kashmalam is one of the worst words in Sanskrit, wretched. And then Lord Krishna told Arjuna so politely, don't worry about all these things, and remember that the sharp words Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastidam Anarya Justam Asvargam Akirtigaram Arjuna. Then he said, Klaibhyam Masmagam Partha Naidatva Yubavadyade Kshadram Hridaya Daurbalyam Tyaktotishta Varendava. Klaibhyam Masmagam Partha. Oh my dear friend, my relative, my friend, never become a person like an important. Don't be an important person. And remember that you have to throw away your mental weakness on the junction of this, on the junction of the crisis. And this weakness of your mind, Klaibhyam Masmagama Partha Naidatva Yubavat Chudram Hridaya Daurbalyam. Chudram, that minutest, minuscule, that cheap Chudram Hridaya Daurbalyam, your mental weakness, Tyakta, throw it away, and Uttishta, then get up, stand up for doing your duty, for performing Dharma. Dharmadhi Yuddhat Shreyonyat Kshatriyasya Navidyade. Your dharma is performing the battle or playing the role in the battle for establishing the dharma. So remember that your role is not for killing the people. Your role is for establishing the dharma in Hastinapura. I quoted Bhagavad Gita today to you exclusively to inform you that every Hindus in India, remember that there are 122 countries where national religion is Christianity. There are 69 countries in the world where national religion is Islam. There is not even a single Hindu nation where national religion is Hinduism. There are 8 small countries or big countries in the world where national religion is Buddhism or Jainism. Not even a single country in the world which has got the national religion as Hinduism or Hindu Dharma or Sanatana Dharma. But still, remember that there are 1 billion 100 crore Hindus living in the world. Our religion, as Lord Krishna said, Swadharma, our dharma is so precious, so perfect, and our dharma is rational. Our dharma is logical. Our dharma is scientific. Our dharma is known as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means Chira Puratanam, older than the oldest, and Nitya Nutana, ever novel. And according to archaeological evidences, whether people believe it or not, the systematic and customary studies undertaken by Dr. A.K. Vishwas and Dr. B.K. Vishwas and published in one of the best books, Ancient Indian Minerals and Metals, and the research undertaken by Banaras Hindu University, Indological Department, Metallurgical Studies, they have shown with all proof that the copper, brass, bronze and many other artifacts produced by the use of technology start from BC 8275 in Kalibangan, Bhagwanpura, Mehergarh, Chinjudaro and so on. So, through the archaeological evidences, India was alive, scientifically India was alive, logically and rationally India was alive right from BC 8275. So our religion has got a minimum age duration of not less than 10,000 years. So Hindus lived here as Hindus with this cultural and scientific heritage for the last 10,000 years. 10,000 divided by 20 is equal to 500 generations. And during BC 3140, that is 38 years prior to the beginning of the Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga started during BC 3102, February 17th, Thursday midnight. BC 3102, February 17th, Thursday midnight. 38 years prior to that, the Bhagavad Gita message was given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, the battlefield of the Kurukshetra, where the battle took place. Whether it really took place or not is none of our problem or our subject of discussion. In Kurukshetra war, battlefield, Bhagavad Gita was explained, in which Lord Krishna primarily focuses on Jnana Yoga, about the knowledge. That is what is the need of the Hindus. Hindu Dharma is not based on bhakti, devotion. All other religion, including Christianity and Islam, directly explain about the so-called religious spirituality to follow Jehovah or Jesus through Bible, only one literature. Through Prophet Muhammad and through Allah, it is explained to follow Lord Allah or Allah, God Allah. That is the only message given in these two books for the Semitic religion. Whereas in Hindu Dharma, Lord Krishna explained Bhagavad Gita for creating the jnana, knowledge, not for creating the bhakti, and first and the most important part given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna is Jnana Yoga, starting from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What we Hindus lack now is not devotion, not bhakti. What we lack now is knowledge. We are ignorant about our heritage. We are ignorant about our culture. We are ignorant about our religion, so-called religion. We do not have any religion. We have got only Sanatana Dharma with us. And we think that one bhakti or devotion, that is enough for going to the heaven. As far as Indian culture, Sanatana Dharma is concerned, heaven is here only. In this world, there is no heaven above the sky. There is no hell below the sky, below the earth. We create our own heaven and we create our own hell. And for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction to be experienced by the actor. That is what we have told. And we focused on Jnana Yoga, as you can see in Bhagavad Gita. Even in the battlefield, Lord Krishna did not explain about Karma Yoga first. Action is very important. Devotion is not that unimportant. And Karma Yoga is very important. Bhakti Yoga is not that unimportant. But the most important thing is Jnana Yoga. You should know about it. If you do not know about your heritage, if you do not know about your family background, if you do not know about our dharma and our nation, then living in the family, living in the society, living in the Sanatana Dharma and living in our country without knowing where we are living and what the heritage we have got, that is what is known as Ajnana Yoga. We are mingled with Ajnana. So Hindu Dharma is the only Dharma, only religion in the world which focuses primarily on Jnana Yoga, knowledge. In other religion you can see even eating the apple of knowledge, Jnana Kani. Even eating the apple of knowledge, the God got violently angry and cursed Adam and Eve for following the advice of the snake. Because the snake advised Adam and Eve to eat the Jnana Kani, the apple of knowledge. The God got violently angry because the God thought that the people will become rational, logical and scientific and they get themselves elevated to the position of the God. But here you know, in India, once you have acquired knowledge, once you have become a knowledgeable scholar, you automatically got elevated into the position of God. And remember that Lord Krishna was an ordinary human being. Lord Rama was also a human being, got elevated to the position of Avatara by acquiring the knowledge and they became a Jnana Yogi. You can see the messages of Lord Krishna. You can read the messages of Lord Rama far beyond a common man. When you got yourself elevated into the position of a Jnana Yogi, you are an Avatara. And merely having Jnana is also not enough. We can be so proud, we can say that I am a proud Hindu, and even if I have got 100 more Janmas, I would like to get my birth in India as a Hindu. Because here on the soil of Mahabharata, on the soil of Aryavarta, on the soil of this Jnana Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, Karma Bhumi, Yajna Bhumi and Jnana Bhumi of Bharat, our forefathers who were ordinary human beings initially got elevated into the position of Maharishis like Vedavyasa, Vasishta, Agastya, Vishwamitra and to the level of avatars like Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, and they got the Siddhi. And though they got enlightened through their activities and penance, and they gave direction to the pupil to get themselves elevated to the level of God, not as the slave of the God, but get yourself elevated to the level of God and realize that Aham Brahmasmi, I am the embodiment of divine power. Tat Brahma Tvamasi Tat Tvamasi. You are also the embodiment of divine power. And we are all the embodiment of the God and we are all the manifestations and the manipulations of the divine power present in the world, in the cosmic system. So, we could understand the divinity, and for understanding the practical divinity or spirituality and the theoretical spirituality, the need is the knowledge, Jnana Yoga. That Jnana Yoga, once we Hindus acquire that, many of the superstitions and irrational, illogical, non-scientific practices as well as the low level of bhakti, the cheap bhakti, that can also get erased off. Once you acquire the knowledge, that knowledge can be implemented in the world as Karma Yoga. One cannot keep away from Karma Yoga. Lokesmin dvivida nishta pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Some people would like directly to become jnana yogi, but that jnana yogi is not simply sitting and doing the tapascharya. That jnana yogi has to acquire the knowledge and give the knowledge. That is what is meant by jnana yogi. Our Vedavyasa, our Vasishtha, our Agastya, our Vishwamitra, and Narayana Guru, Chatambi Swamigal, Swami Narayana, and Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Raghavendra Acharya, they never sat just like for getting moksha for them. They learned, acquired the knowledge of theoretical spirituality and practical spirituality, and then started teaching others. That is Jnana Yoga. Learning and teaching. Now we Hindus lack that. We neither acquire knowledge nor deliver knowledge. That is what the youngsters of Hindu Dharma, I would like very specifically tell all the IT company employees, you spend 23.5 hours for your personal work, but half an hour you work for Hindu Dharma. Whether you are a Hindu, Christian or Muslim, you are an Indian. Indian heritage is meant for all the people, including leftist and so-called progressives or the atheists. So, as the youth who played a very serious and very important role to change India for the last 2 months, they played the very serious and sincere role to bring change in India. As the pro-term speaker Kamal Nath said, change is the only permanent thing. Very rightly he said, change is the only permanent thing. Stagnation is death, death is stagnation. Life is growth, growth is life. So that change could be brought in India for the last 2 months through the hard work of the youth. All the youth, I would like to say, never get weakened like Arjuna. Never got perturbed, never got confused, never get worried too much about the fate. When you are thinking only about you, the problem comes. When you think about our nation, our dharma, and start working for our dharma, spending some energy, time and part of your money for Sanatana Dharma, the 100 crore people, 1 billion people can change not only India, but also the world. There will be positives and negatives, there will be ups and downs, there will be success and failures, there will be profit and loss, there will be death and birth, there will be the income and expenditure. Just like the sun will be rising and sun will be setting, every positives and negatives are there in the world, but acquire the theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge and give it to others about Sanatana Dharma, which existed on the surface of the globe earth for the last not less than 10,000 years, 500 generations. Our Bhagavad Gita told 5,154 years ago, 5,154 years ago, that Bhagavad Gita has become the part of the syllabus of Harvard University for their MBA syllabus. And remember that Albert Einstein got inspiration from Bhagavad Gita. And Robert Oppenheimer, who was the director of the first atom bomb explosion in Manhattan experiments, he got enlightened with Bhagavad Gita. And Gorbachev, who was the former USSR president, used to quote from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the literature translated into as many languages as possible in India, in the world, not India, in the world, and it is the largest circulated, second largest circulated book in the world. First largest circulated book is Bible. Why it is largest? Because it is freely distributed throughout the world, as the fund used to come from Christian countries. But Bhagavad Gita is not freely distributed. It is distributed on payment. Still it is the second largest circulated book. And nearly 51 century ago it was written or advised to Arjuna. That has become the part of the syllabus of more than 100 universities in US, a developed country. Bhagavad Gita is the book which inspired Albert Einstein, as I told you earlier. And Bhagavad Gita is being taught as the MBA curriculum world over, Dharma-based management. That Bhagavad Gita informs you and me, never become weak and never become tired and never become a coward. Never run away from the battlefield. Never encourage adharma. Never encourage anidhi, anyaya, adharma, asatya. And remember that nahi kaschit kshanamapi yadu tishtatya karma krita karyadehi avashak karma sarvaha prakriti jayar gunaihi. Not even a single atom can stay without doing its work. Every electron is revolving at every second. Every nucleus is spinning continuously. The air is blowing. The water is evaporating and becoming cloud, and the rain is flowing. Every plant is growing. Every animal is growing. And if you Hindus do not grow, it is your mistake. It is not the mistake of our forefathers. If we Hindus do not take the responsibility of learning and teaching, then we are stagnant. We are dead. When Christians are working for Christianity, spending his time, energy and money for spreading Christianity, remember that every Muslim is working for Islam, spreading the messages of Quran to the people and spreading his religion world over. Hindus are the only people, even though they are 1 billion people, think about only themselves and their family, doing nothing and becoming angry against somebody else without doing their own responsibility, without undertaking their own responsibility, doing their work. So, be bold enough, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is achieved, is the meaning given for the Upanishadic Sandesha by Ramakrishna Ashram pupil. Uttishtada Jagrata Prapya Varanni Bodhada. Gloriously stand up and be aware that you are not permanent in the world. Acquire knowledge from the scholars and enlighten yourself. So this is the message of our great scholars, Upanishadic writers. So be bold enough, do your duty. India is changing, and that changing bell has already rung. Now start doing your duty. Let you be a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, follow your religion. Let you be a leftist or a rightist or middleist. Let you be communist or Congress or BJP. Be there where you are. But India is your motherland. It's your Madhra Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, Karma Bhumi, Jnana Bhumi, Yajna Bhumi and Pidra Bhumi. Learn the heritage of India and practice it in your life and teach to others. Undertake the mission-oriented work that you are expected to perform as an Indian, and the devotion is needed for undertaking that. So Karma Yoga is after Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is after Karma Yoga. Now many of the people think that Bhakti is enough. Wrong. Bhakti is not enough. Bhakti is only the paint. and cement is karma. Jnana is the bricks. Jnana is needed for building the whole structure. Bricks are needed for building the structure, and karma is needed for strengthening the structure. Bhakti is needed for giving the beauty for the structure. So bhakti is the painting, karma is the cement, plastering, and jnana is the bricks for elevating yourself to the higher level as a building structure. So 3:2:1. 3 jnana yoga, 2 karma yoga, 1 bhakti yoga. And remember that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna start giving jnana yoga to Arjuna. In the 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter he explained about karma yoga, and after the half of the Bhagavad Gita, the 12th chapter only, he is explaining about the bhakti yoga. It was not even the 4th chapter. So remember, bhakti yoga is far away. Lord Krishna demonstrated his capacity as a jnana yogi and karma yogi, and he never advocated Arjuna to go and sit in Himalayas and enlighten yourself as a yogi. He told to become a karma yogi and a jnana yogi, and be bold enough and do your duty. One day death will come. Before the death, do your duty. I am particularly telling to the communist youth, DYFI, SFI, who always used to fight against Indian culture, who always used to say negative about Indian culture, and who always used to show aversion against Indian culture. So my request to them, you are active, you are so energetic, and also to the IT professionals and youth and the students, you are instrumental for changing India, and continue to change the Sanatana Dharma from Asadoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. I think it is clear. So arise, awake, Uttishtada, Jagrada, Prapya Varanibodada. My pranams to you. Thank you very much.